just for you. Just for you, Francis Hates. Anyway, what's up? What is up? So you been. Anyway, and the curse is on you. So, I got to review my old videos because I have no idea whether or not I've actually done this particular video before. Obviously, I'm running out of some material here. It's always on the eve. It's always on the eve, by the way, yeah. Franny, just for you. I threw that up. I just put that up, by the way, just now, just for you. It's like I want to make a video, but I want to hear Franny bitch. Find something else to hate on. The map of Middle Earth. But anyway, Halloween time, right? So I developed a top 10 list, and I just threw it together. I swear to God, if I thought about it for a day or 2 or 3 or 4 weeks, I could probably come up with a better list than what I've came up with. But it is what it is. I did it in like 15, 20 minutes, so I was just like right off the top of my head, these are the ones that maybe are not necessarily my favorite in the order or whatever. They're just the list I thought of right now. And maybe I did do this last year, but on any given day, my mood changes and sometimes things seem better than they are at different moments of life, if that makes any sense at all. And if it doesn't, I don't care. I don't even know why you guys watch these things. Watch a stupid Irishman get drunk. By the way, Irish, can't figure this team out. To save my life, can't figure this team out. When they said they were playing today, I was like, Irish are going to get killed by the Hurricanes today. That's what's going to happen. But then, this is happening. So I guess you never know. You never know what's going to happen in life. So I might re-release the Luke Cage video with some editing. Not editing so much, but I'm playing around with iMovie, and I might add like an intro or something like that. I haven't decided yet. I haven't decided if I'm going to go there or not. I think part of the charm of these videos is that I just kind of press record it, and then there it is. It is what it is. But let's delve into this. It's Halloween time, guys. So I got a top 10 Halloween movies list that I'm going to, share onto you. Number 10, I've got the Rob Zombie Halloween. Yes, it makes the top 10 list. I really, really enjoyed the way he kind of took him through the whole mental institution and actually built the villain, If it was just a standard remake, then I would have been like, whatever. But he actually, he added his own little salt to it. I thought he did a good job. Plus, that kid when he was little was just like, yeah, wow. Making of a murderer, making of a psychopath, making of a serial killer. But, some people may not have liked it just because, this was an iconic character and he had more mystery. So, it would have been better if they just left the mystery a mystery. But I thought he did it well. So, sometimes, that mystery that gets added is, something that does take away from a character if you do it wrong. But I don't think it was done wrong. I thought he did it right. So that's why he makes the list. Number 9 is the OG. the original gangster freaking Amityville horror, one from the 70s. Now, it may not stand up to time. That's kind of why it's kind of like lower on the list as far as like up there towards the 9 or anything like that. Because if I watch it again today, it doesn't freak me out as much as it used to. Actually, it's kind of cheesy in a way. But when I was a fucking kid and that priest started getting mauled by flies, that freaked the shit out of me, man. I freaked out. I was like, no, it's a priest. What are you doing? So I think I even made my parents change the channel the first time around. All right, number 8. I'm putting Conjuring 1 and 2. I like that series. Those two characters that go around solving the whole thing. So they make the whole thing interesting. I'd actually watch 2 or 3 more movies with cases of what those guys did. I never watched Annabelle, but I really did enjoy 1 and 2 of The Conjuring. Pretty good movies. Number 7. I'm putting The Nightmare on Elm Street on there. Classic movie. It's gotta be on there because it's just one of those classic horror movies that if you haven't seen it, you should see it. That kind of thing. But whatever. I've got honorable mentions, but I guess we'll save that until we get down to number one or something like that. That's what normal people do, or I could just do them now. No, I'm not going to do them now. Number 6, I put 30 Days of Night at number 6. I thought that was an extremely, extremely creepy vampire movie where vampires were actually monsters. They weren't, these cutesy, huggy things that go to high school and sparkle and all that other stuff like that. They were monsters. They were ugly and they ate stuff and they did it brutal So living in a very, very small town that has a 30 Days a Night, is a horrifying idea for vampires that are just like, okay, it's time to feast, and the way they isolated the town and everything, just brilliantly done. Anyway, number 5, I'm gonna put The Lost Boys. 5 Golden Lost Boys. It's just a cult classic. You gotta love Lost Boys. You gotta love Lost Boys. Those are maggots. Those are maggots. But yeah, those were the days, right? Those are the days of movies. Yeah, horror movies anyway. Nowadays, I don't know. You know what? They come up with a good one. I did like It Follows. Didn't make the list, but I did like It Follows. What else could I say? I thought The Lost Boys was a classic. It was a good movie. It's a good movie. You should watch it. Number 4, Cabin in the Woods. I think that movie was a cult classic before it even knew it was a cult classic. It's like the brand new cult classic. The thing that's hilarious to me about Cabin in the Woods is such a freaking well done comedic, whatever you want to call it, but it's such a well done take on all horror movies that and it almost didn't get made at all. It was sat in production hell, I think, for a little while. Not production hell. It was actually made. It just sat on the shelf, and it didn't get pushed out until Josh became powerful enough to say, "Make this movie." All right, get this movie out there. Like after the Avengers, it was like one of those things where he was like, after he made the Avengers, like, "Hey, I got a little pull. Let's get Cabin in the Woods out there." And thank God he did. That's a great movie. It's awesome to watch over and over again. Enjoy the hell out of that movie. At number 3, I have Poltergeist at number 3. Always love Steven Spielberg, and I love his take on it. And of course, I'm talking about the original Poltergeist. I'm not talking about the piece of shit that was released in 2015 that was just completely void of any kind of emotion or caring for anything that was going on. Poltergeist had that subtle bring up. It wasn't like it just dove right into, spookiness or freaks or trying to get you to jump early on or anything like that. It was a nice gradual build of subtle things that were happening, and then it just kind of got, the pace quickened and quickened and quickened and quickened, as it went through the movie. Plus, there was just emotional content. Emotional content, Or was it Joe Beth Williams? I forget who the guy was, and the other guy, when they she was about to go into the freaking closet and he was tied on and they had a little moment where they kissed, and Steven Spielberg just kind of captures those. This is a dramatic moment. I hope I see you again. He's just really good at that stuff. That's what I'm saying. Hey, I'm a softie. This heart here, soft. It's a soft one. It's a soft one. So, I like stuff. Anyway, number 2. Gotta give props to John Carpenter's original Halloween. Have to. As far as slasher movies are concerned, this is the definition of what a slasher movie should be. This is what it's all about. I don't know what else to say about it other than it's just a classic slasher movie. I mean, and I guess that could, it's simple. There's not much to it, They kind of set up the whole thing up with the, everybody kind of doing their thing after school, and then this person's across the street over here, and that was kind of the meat of the story was that there are two people that are right across the street from each other babysitting, and this horror was just happening right next door to each other, and they really, it was just, just a very, very, very well done, very, 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 very well done movie. A lot of people have tried to copy it, and a lot of people have failed. So Halloween, Halloween. So that leads me to my honorable mentions. Of course, I got to go and first off, I got to say Friday the 13th. The first couple of movies of Friday the 13th. They're classic movies that are a must-watch if you're a horror enthusiast. Of course, a case could be made for Jason Takes Manhattan just because of the humor value. He did punch that guy's head off. Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen these movies by now, you're probably not gonna. But, Jason Takes Manhattan. I never saw what is it? Was it Freddy versus Jason? Never even got it. I never saw that. But I bet you for humor purposes, that one's alright too. Another honorable mentions for the Evil Dead series, just all of it. And I'm even going to throw in there the new one. The new one that came out was actually pretty fucking good too. But, Ash, respect. Army of Darkness, Evil Dead 1 and 2. Gotta just throw that one out there. Also should say that The Thing, that's on the list as far as an honorable mention is concerned. Another one where it's an isolated thing in the Arctic or something like that. And the paranoia and everything, and just the fact that they're stuck up there, good stuff. I'm also going to say Event Horizon, sci-fi movie, and Alien could be mentioned as well, the first one, because the second one is more considered an action-adventure than the first one is. The first one, though, is a horror movie, one beast, stalking people on a large ship, so that should definitely be thrown out there as well. Silence of the Lambs should be thrown out there. There's a ton of movies that I could probably just rattle off the top of my head as far as the horror genre is concerned that are definitely very, very enjoyable. But I don't know. That's my list as far as my honorable mentions are concerned. I'm just kind of tossing out a few names. It Follows. I think I said something about that too. That's one of them. That's one of the more recent ones that came out. I would say Paranormal Activity is. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what's going on with that anymore. There's like 6 of them now. I never was a fan of the Saws. Actually, I never saw the Saws. Never saw the Saws. Never watched the Saws. I never viewed the Saws movies. Why? Because, I know the concept, and people are chopping their limbs off. It's not something that I want to watch. It's just, I knew exactly what the hell they were going to do in those movies, and there was a big portion of me that was like, I don't really want to see that. So, not going to watch it. And they made like $5 million. But as time goes on and the mediocrity of mediocreness and Mediocreville keep on making mediocre shit, part of me says, you know what, maybe I should check this out. They did make 10 of them, so there's probably at least like maybe 1 or 2 that are good, right? Law of averages. Never saw Ouija. Never saw the Babadook, because that's a movie, right? Babadook. Never saw that one either. So, there's some honorable mentions that I can't mention because I ain't seen the shit. Ain't seen it yet. But this leads me up to number 1, my favorite of all time. My favorite horror movie of all time. It's The Exorcist. It has to be The Exorcist. It stands up over time. I don't know if anybody's ever seen the extended version, too. Awesome. It's great. It adds, it really does add. But the progression of the little girl and the way they do it, just the way that they do it, they introduce Reagan as this really, really, innocent, normal kid, she's not perfect. She's a character, but she's just your run-of-the-mill normal kid, And then that scene where she pisses on the fucking carpet, that's where it gets you, right? And then from there on, it's just a train wreck. But, when that happens, you're like, holy shit, what the fuck? And, I think that movie stands the test of time. I still think that if I took that movie out and showed it to anybody, they'd be like, well, the film is definitely old, and everything like that. But damn, Jesus, what the hell? What the fuck is going on in this movie? I think it stands the test of the what the fuck test of timeness. You know? I mean, if you're not a little bit freaked out by this damn movie, then there's something wrong with you. You mean, seriously, if you get excited by The Exorcist, see a shrink, right? But and I mean, you know what I mean. I get excited by the fact that it's a good movie to me because it freaks me out. But you know what I'm saying, or do you? Or do you? But anyway, guys, Doctor Strange is coming up, and I'm gonna plan on seeing it since I'm not gonna be able to break away and go do Fanboy Day like I'd like to. I am going to go on Thursday night then. Damn it. I'm going to go on Thursday night at probably 7 o'clock. And then that will be the next time you see me in all my glory. All 8 or 9 of you that watch these videos. But anyway, have a happy Halloween, everybody. Be safe. Don't get in too much trouble. Remember, Uber's your friend, taxis are your friend. Stay out of trouble. Don't get, whatever. And do something good for yourself. Do something good for somebody else. Love you. Peace.